While the president may still be pushing for schools to reopen in the fall, I want you to hear from someone who is on the ground. Katie O'Connor is a fifth grade teacher in Colorado Springs. She returned to the classroom recently to try and prepare for socially distanced learning.
I'm on the mission of social distancing my classroom. My district is going back full time. We'll be back in about 2.5 weeks. And so I have to remove all personal items from my classroom, and I have to set up my desks so that they're all 3 feet apart. So she has these type of desks. This is just what she had. They used to be in little pods. They all circle up nicely. But right now she has these, and they're not 3 feet apart yet. So we still have to figure out how to get these to be 3 feet apart. You can see that it's really close. Like this is, they're really close. She has a little front table. This is gonna be her document table. And then she has still some stuff to take out, but she has her teacher desk, and then she has allowed those 2 things. We're all just struggling because in what world is this an elementary school classroom? See, it's all my masks out. We have to be walking around wearing our masks for 8 hours. These are a bunch of 10-year-olds. They have to work individually. There's no group work. Honestly, we're probably not even going to be doing anything on paper because we can't pass it around. You can't collect it. Kids can't be out of their seats. I don't feel like people know the true reality of what it's going to look like. You expect a bunch of 10-year-olds to sit in their chair all day, eat lunch in their chair. These kids aren't leaving the classroom at all, the whole day. They're sitting in a desk. As an educator, I know that's not how kids learn. Kids need to move. Most of them learn by moving. And asking these 10-year-olds to sit at their desk all day, on a computer, wearing a mask, 3 feet apart from their peers, no group work, no one-on-ones, just, they can't stick their arms out, you can't touch. I just don't see how this is better. E-learning was not great either, but at least at home they could be comfortable. This is not how I want to go back, and I want to go back so bad. Because I love teaching, and I miss my classroom, and I miss my kids. But I can't show them love that way. I really, truly feel like this is something that people need to see, especially parents. You can make an informed decision if you want to keep your kids home.
Katie O'Connor is joining us now to talk more. Katie, that was an incredible look at what you are going through right now as you prepare to open school in full. What's the response been like to that video?
It has been so overwhelming, the amount of messages I'm getting and comments I'm getting from parents and educators alike who are just thanking me for sharing it. So many teachers are in the same boat as me, and it's so hard to process what's happening. And that's all I was doing. I was processing this strange new reality I'm in.
Yeah, and you've said that you are grieving the loss of normal. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of a elementary classroom, they're kids working together. There's a lot of interactions with each other. And I'm not saying we're not going to still have that. You know, kids are still going to talk. We're still going to find ways for them to collaborate. It's just going to look different. It's just so different than what we're used to. And it's a change. And sometimes change is hard.
I think change is almost always hard. I do want to ask you, that's interesting. You said you're going to find new ways to collaborate, but I want to talk just about the desks. You were saying that she had them, and that's because you've taken over, right, another classroom. I think, right, you just moved from Michigan. Am I correct on that? So are you new to this school, or you're new to this classroom?
No, this will be my second year in my classroom. I was showing one of my teammates who had actually finished her classroom. Mine wasn't done yet.
Oh. Okay, so you were showing, so let me ask you that. You were 3 feet apart. I mean, how do you fit all of your kids? How do you fit all of your kids in the class?
It's just a giant game of Tetris, getting it all to fit where you can. Okay. Yeah, we're really just doing the best we can. It's 3 feet, as much of 3 feet as we can get.
Okay, so when you're trying to brainstorm, and I'm sure that you and your colleagues are talking about this, how do they collaborate? How do they not go stir crazy? Like you said, you're talking about 10-year-olds. Have you been able to think of any answers to those questions, and are you getting any guidance on how to answer those questions?
Yeah, there's a team at my school who has been working tirelessly to get creative and come up with these new routines and procedures that will help everyone stay safe but still make school fun and still make it enjoyable for kids. And they've dedicated a lot of outdoor space for us so we can take kids outside, which I'm very excited about. I'm an outside girl, so that's really fun for me to have class outside. And we're going to have movement breaks, and there'll be mask breaks. So we are going to make sure they're not just sedentary at their seats, because it's really hard to learn that way, and that's not what's best.
Do you and your colleagues feel safe going back to school? What concerns do you have?
Yeah, like I said, there's a ton of new procedures, especially for cleaning, that they're putting in place for us. And so we'll find ways to incorporate cleaning multiple times a day. Like I said, everyone's wearing masks, so that kind of helps stop the spread that way. But we're really working hard to make sure that this is safe for everyone.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. Look, every school district, every county seems to be approaching this differently based on what parents think and what the situation is. So we're going to be tracking you and the other teachers that we've been talking to see how you go through this, because everyone's watching their neighbor as they try to muddle their way through this. So thanks, Katie O'Connor, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.